Okay, my father worked, growing up, he worked like around 4 different jobs. So he had his main job at Continental Can. He was supervisor of the graphics department there. But then he wanted my mom to stay home and watch us kids. So he had, he worked other jobs at night. He waited tables, he bartended, he even had a gig at one of those, when computers first came on the scene, the big computers that filled up like the whole back room, and you had like the punch card women doing their thing, and I even did that in college for a little while he was working there. And but then he retired from the can company, and he couldn't just sit around, right? He's 65 years old, he's still in his prime, so he starts a car service, a limo business. And he did that until he was like 91 or 92. And he used to swear us to secrecy, like we couldn't tell the customers how old he was. And so, my father was very into his 90s. He was very physically fit, very, and he used to like wrestle with the customers, like if they tried to take the bags, to put them in the trunk, he would make sure that he did it. And so he worked until like into his 90s. So there you have it. And this is called My Father, the Limo Driver. While the neighborhood slept, my 89-year-old father, who forgets he isn't 50, took the dog for a walk in the early morning dark. He passed the big brick apartment building and crossed the street near the tailor shop. The dog yanked the leash and he fell, cracking his forehead on the curb. Truck lights rounded the corner and he scrambled onto the sidewalk, making it home in time for his 5 a.m. airport run. I was in the upstairs apartment, could have driven him to the emergency room in his fare to Newark, but he didn't want to bother me. So he put the dog inside the house, slid into his black town car, and took back roads from Hawthorne to Franklin Lakes. Staring at the back of my dad's head, the customer, half asleep, didn't notice the blood spattered on the front of my dad's white golf shirt, or the red tissues wadded up on the passenger's seat, or the gash above his left eye, turning his eye socket, cheekbone, half his face the color of an eggplant, or his swollen wrist, or the cracked ribs that ached each time he breathed. My dad's job done, the fare paid, he drove from the airport to the emergency room to get stitches, then with bandaged head, and left arm in a brace, went to the market to pick up a few things. A loaf of Italian bread, some garlic, onions, broccoli rabe, a hunk of provolone cheese, and went with his good arm, clutched grocery sack to bloody shirt, and drove home to tell my mom the story. And that dog that appears in the poem used to go on jobs with him. I'm surprised Bailey didn't go that day, but yeah, Bailey was co-pilot. Okay.